She has like more than 17 years of experience on the market. So she actually knows everything. Yeah, so it's useful for like, just in generally speaking.
Yes, it's so important. All time have communication and have possibility to talk about different questions what we have during our working. Yes.
Oh
Because
yeah, with the,
for me here, too much new rules, another laws as for real estate, and so big different with the Ukrainian market, really.
what was the most struggle? Like, what would be your question?
For example, about agreement between landlord and our
Tenant?
tenant, yes, and for example, about here in Canada, landlord ask too much questions and need too much proofs from tenant about payment. Our Ukrainian people who came here in Canada during last year don't ready for these questions and these proofs. Really, it's so strange for us because we never make the same packet of documents in Ukraine. Here it's, oh my God, why people ask me about these proofs? Why people need from me these proofs? It's my privacy. But here,
This is
it's a rule of society, and landlord, yes, he asked about some proofs from tenant. It's normal for Canada, but it's so strange for Ukraine. And people who come here don't understood why we must do this. For example, I work now in Richmond Community Center like volunteer. And yes, of course, every day I talk with too much people from Ukraine. It's newcomer who stay in hotel, for example. And yes, of course, they find apartments. But unfortunately, I can't officially offer or print paper and bring for all and say, please, you must call to Natalia, for example. I can do it just if I outside of community and I'm not volunteer, I'm civil people, just Natalia. I'm Natalia too. And I say, I know this lady, she can help you. And I bring telephone. But when I work in community, I can do it. And people who have this telephone ask me about, oh my God, why I must prepare too much document. I say, I'm so sorry, it's rule of Canada. Yes, it's unusual.
But we should understand. Yeah, but we should understand that tenants in Canada, they are very protected by law,
Yes.
So as soon as they signed the rental agreement with the landlord, they became very, very, very protected. So here, that's why if you think about from the landlord side, of course, they giving the property, it might be for many years. It might be for 1, 2, 3, 5, 7 years. And all they know about that people, that they looks like a good person, by the pictures.
Yes, of
So
course. But for example, second big strange for me, it's poor landlords here in Canada. Oh my God, they can do anything if a tenant, for example, stop payment. Oh my God,
yeah,
it's crazy.
but yes,
I
it
don't
is.
know how they have so big risk.
That's why they're checking the tenants very carefully before they go, like, before they sign the rental agreement. That's why the tenant should understand it, right? It's first. Second, yes, landlords also protected by the law. Of course, everyone can complain to
But
the
it's
tenancy
so
branch.
hard for landlord, really. All
Yes.
time in Facebook, I read too much um, cases about landlord can do anything. People change in apartment, people destroyed something, people, for example, say we will live here just 2 person, after that it's 5 person or another,
Hmm.
and landlord can change anything. Or tenants say, I'm so sorry, I have not money. And during 3, 4, 5, 6 months, any payment, and the landlord can do anything.
Yeah.
Landlord
So.
find possibility to go to lawyer, pay money for lawyer, for consulting and another, just pay money
Yes, in
and
that particular situation, sorry that yeah, I started to talk. So in that particular situation, we offer to the landlord to get a landlord insurance as well. So if tenants stop paying, at least landlord insurance will cover some payments for the rent, and also if tenant destroy the property. This is first. Second, that's why landlord have to carefully check all documents. And when I'm looking for the prospect tenants, they everyone so nice, like, and so smiley and all of this stuff, but we still have to check them. And that's why, for example, me working with Natalia in First Day Realty, so we usually check not just only one place, like a current place where they stay, but we usually check two places, like previous places where people lived. Because what if current landlord just want to rid off of that tenant, and they're gonna say, oh, he's so nice, just always on time, just grab him, just take him,
mhm,
so that's why
mhm,
we usually check it like current
mhm,
and previous as well, and we're doing all of this research. In your particular situation, I understand that Ukrainian people, newcomers, it might be Ukrainian, might be Mexican, might be Iranian,
mhm,
might be any countries, right? They don't have a credit score here, they don't have a what is it? They don't have any history here. And of course, many people probably afraid and scared to take them kind of to their properties, right? But what I know about Ukrainian people and the people from Soviet Union countries, from that part, Serbian as well. So people there mostly homeowners. They like, grow up as homeowners. So that's why they're very careful and protective to the property. So that's why when I'm talking for him with the landlord, I usually say, these people who owns their own properties, so they won't destroy it because it's not in their blood. In our blood, it's just like, to take care, to be very nice, like, to not destroy. It's like,
mhm,
our mothers and fathers, they teach us that when we were kids.
yes,
So, but I understand the struggle with the documentation. I know we also helped some newcomers who applied to us, of course. And thank you for recommending Natalia, First Day Realty, because we're dealing with that. Yes, and yeah, just proper funds. It should be just like significant amount of money on their bank accounts. Maybe some references, who's already here, like, I mean, who's already in Canada established. Also, you can offer them to have a guarantors. Like, for example, if they already know someone here in Canada and who might be a guarantor for their rental agreement, like for their rent, it also
uh,
might have help them.
and I'm so sorry. And may I ask you,
Yeah.
when some people make a reference
Hmm.
for example, for newcomer,
Yeah.
and landlord look, okay, this person have a reference, it's also good, but something wrong, and what's the risk have people who make good reference? Somebody connect with them and ask why it's good reference, if it's crazy people, for example, or how it's working here about reference.
So reference, it's usually like when I'm doing reference check, right? So I call every reference they provided to me. Also, I might call to the workplace, just to receptionist, let's say, just to ask, oh, is it that one is
Mm-hmm.
working here? And they saying, oh, yes or no, right? So, and for us, for example, I usually Google references as well in LinkedIn, let's say. So that's why I know that it is a proper
Thank
thing, right? Yeah. Hello, Natalia. Yes,
you.
and
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, I also ask questions, not just only, oh, how you know him or something. I start to do a
Mm-hmm.
little bit like more, like even personal a little bit, like about the reference as well. So, and yeah, so this is how we actually validate if the reference is appropriate, if it's actual good person as well, like reliable. So, and there is no such a thing like responsibilities of the person who gave the reference. It's actually our responsibilities to check that reference is reliable. Natalia, right? What happened if someone gives reference and appears that the person is not
Yeah,
that
it's
good?
talking like this. If person don't have two people in entire world to tell good about them, that's mean something wrong, right? Because
Yeah.
they're gonna reference of the person, of course, who gonna talk nice about them. It's a personal reference. So it can
Yeah.
be from any, don't need to be scared to give. Can be from other country, doesn't matter, right? Could
Yeah,
be
but
even
what
parent.
happened? Yeah, what happened if, for example, someone gives the good reference, for example, for the prospect tenant, and then appears that the tenant broke the lease, like will break the
No,
lease,
something
and
happened. Something happened.
yes,
Maybe stop of payment. Maybe destroyed something. Maybe scandal with neighbors. I don't know.
conflict, right?
Something
Yeah.
happened. Yeah, conflict. And after that, what responsibility from person to person who make good reference for these people?
Yeah, first of all, it's a reputation, right? But there's some organization, company, or landlord. It's more or less people don't like their reputation, yeah. But I have the case with one guy, and everybody gives such a wonderful reference about him, and I like started digging. Then I found some person by accident that knows him, and what he told me that it was horrible things. He destroyed apartments. He did all those things, and we already took deposit at that point, so we were very troubled. But then suddenly he come and say, "I changed my mind to stay in your apartment. Give me money back." So we
Back.
were like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, happy," but we didn't tell.
Sounds
Yeah,
But
good,
yeah.
right?
sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
yes. So many people good reference and they sincere because maybe they know him at work. They don't know his other side, right, of the
Mm-hmm.
story. And she knew because she was friend of his ex-girlfriend. That's why she know all those details.
Mm-hmm.
But it was horrible, like what he did in a places. But like sometimes it's like that.
Yeah, so there is no actual responsibilities of the reference people. I mean, like, looks like they just can say, yes, he's good, and that's it, because they don't sign anything, right, with us. So this is our responsibilities to check that they're actually reliable source. So that's why
Yeah,
it's not just on, right? Is it? It's
a
just like
reference is only part of the process. It's not the whole process. Yeah.
yeah. So meaning that yeah, so we cannot just like uh, we should ask specific questions, not just only oh how you know him, how many years. No, just like trying to actually give time and energy to actually investigate.
Mhm. You never know for sure, but it's also privacy act, which has to be careful. It's a loan document, and it's explain what you can check, what you cannot check, what you can ask, what you shouldn't ask, right? So it's
Yeah.
many. Yeah. So tenant is protected there again. So it's not gonna be something they asking that's not allowed by law, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
And
actually, the reason I come to this profession when I came, like you now complaining, they asking many questions. Before they just, you're a newcomer, bye bye. We don't want to even
yeah.
talk. So they wouldn't even try to understand or try to. So we are slowly over the years changed that. So like nobody would, I would fight every day with my company at the time. So this is good people and I not decline them just because they're newcomers, right? It was like this. It was horrible. When I came, all I can get basement with like lot of rats and mice because nobody else would rent it. That's how it was, right? Yeah. And I have to get cat. The cat was like catching all those mice. He was good, but that's how we started, right? Because we cannot take anything. People just refuse, refuse, refuse. Now it's much better. You are complaining, but it's thousands times better. Used to be for newcomers in that regard.
And may I ask you, if we work like agent and we find a tenant, we find landlord, we make agreement, after that our
you cannot look
responsibility
like
stop, or we
like
must
agent,
control
right?
all, yes, like agent, or during all time of rent this apartment, we must control, and for example, tenant or landlord, if something happen, call to us and say, oh my God, we have problem, you must decide this problem. What kind of responsibility from us?
You have to be licensed agents versatile. That's why you have a coverage, right? If you're not licensed, of course, landlord he can always sue you, but he may sue you for not doing your proper checks, right?
That we have problem, you must decide.
Yeah, my cat also talking. But yeah, so it's first of all, it's license activities in BC, yeah. Plus the second one, it's of course anything tenant will do wrong, even if they not clean their bathroom, you will know about it for sure, right? So anything would be your fault, so to speak. So it's best to have all prepared and all organized and all papers prove that you really did your job properly, not somehow, right? And if you did everything properly, and let's good, like we had one tenant like this, he was landlord, he had penthouses, right? Then he divorced his wife and he find a place to stay and all his documents was perfect and we know he's for many years. Then he lose his mind and he actually put on fire people's apartment in front of his like next to him, right? But we have many proofs that we checked everything. So of course if somebody becomes suddenly crazy or lose their jobs, and it's not already our responsibility, but it also depends when, right? If it's after 5 years you place them or it's next day. So it's a big question.
Yeah, it's big
Yes.
different. Окей.
Ты можешь немножко по-русски поговорить? Так интересно рассказывала про наши
Про наши реалии.
как было.
Да. Ну вот по
I guess
поводу...
I want to show what properties we have for rent now, yeah?
Наталья, может, вы покажете? Вы, мне кажется, больше знаете, нет?
Я сейчас на телефоне, я могу говорить, но кто-то будет показывать. Давайте я покажу тогда, что у нас сейчас есть на сдаче. Или мы просто можем поговорить у Натальи и расспросить. Наталья, if you
Как вам
comfortable
удобно.
English, that's good, because last time you talked Russian, but now my English people want to hear how it was during COVID in Ukraine with problems. This is interesting topic for me, anyways. Maybe not for everyone, but
For example, maybe 5 years ago, our group of daily realtors of Ukraine, we make special groups. Yes, of course, we have a group, for example, in Kiev local, or in Lviv, or in Dnieper, but we make own group, how to say, anti-war. Its group protect landlords and realtor who work with Airbnb, with different people from all countries and from Ukraine too. If these people have bad review and, for example, destroyed something, or make big conflict, or not pay for living, or make something bad, we make a special list, and every person who don't pay or make something bad, we put this name and contact in this list. And all our member of our society have possibility go and check. For example, somebody call you and say, "Oh, I want to rent your apartment."
Unfortunately, it's not allowed by law, even like maybe agent other, but if you put such list public, you may be punished.
No, it's not public. It's
Yeah,
closed. It's closed society, just for us. Just we have possibility to check this telephone number and check is a person stay in this blacklist or not. Never we talk about this list with our clients. It's just for realtors and owners of property, because it's like safety for us. Oh my God. Oh, so
The white.
beautiful, so beautiful white cat. Super.
So
craving attention.
So
Yes,
you mean that to put the tenant to the blackmail list, kind of,
yes,
but it is not legal, I think so. It's against their privacy.
it's close information just for agent who pay for have possibility to use this list and check our guests or clients. Because, for example, yes, of course, we can check our guests about by Facebook or Instagram or something else, because some people, for example, share photo or video how we destroyed this apartment. For example, it's party for destroyed apartment. It's destroyed wall, destroyed fridge, destroyed windows, destroyed floor, destroyed all around. And
Yeah.
It's crazy, because it's about minimum $50,000 you must put in your apartment with renew this one, and you lose too much time, about 2, 3, 5 months for renew all this. It's crazy, and our law don't protect landlord from these people.
It's still protected. Landlord is still protected. It's just we need to know the rules. That's it.
In Ukraine, unfortunately, a law don't work how it must be real.
Oh, we're talking about Ukraine.
Yeah, I talk about Ukraine, and
Yeah, I was talking about.
Yeah, and it's so important for us, because we have the possibility to protect yourself from all bad guests. And time from time in Airbnb, we have possibility to look information about, yes, of course, it's not so good guy.
But I just people maybe don't say greedy, but
yes.
look on bottom line, right? So they not choose the option.
Yes.
Yeah, because people with good reviews only to book, even if they
Yes,
book.
because they prefer make good review and don't talk about problem with guest.
Sometimes not for sure, but I guess they have like 25 good reviews. It's already almost sure that it's not everybody kept quiet,
Yes,
right?
of course. For example, if I work from Airbnb all my last some years, I make filter and people with just one review can't book my apartment. People with a new account can't book my apartment. Just 4+ stars by review and account minimum 1 year and minimum 5 reviews.
Mhm.
But
Oh yeah.
but I can do it. But a lot of my colleagues can do it. They agree for every client because in Ukraine this market of daily apartments so big concurrence, and a lot of people say, "Oh my God, any problem? I take all clients, all clients."
Yeah, Natalia, here the people what they do what you do don't have such a good reputation. Those of them who is not telling owners what they're doing, right? So they pretend to be tenants and they start to do this figgly miggly and maybe building not allowed.
Mhm,
So it's a dangerous type of tenant. So let's say if we know you did this, we would be careful even
yeah,
considering you because we would be scared. What if you
mhm,
do it kind of undercover, right? It's nothing wrong if people do it
mhm.
legally in the buildings when allowed, but unfortunately, most of the buildings I don't here, and then it's become a problem.
I
And
had an experience here in Canada to run Airbnb. It was like a few years ago, and yes, I had a big house to manage, kind of thing. It was just only one house, and yes, so there was many people with reviews and without reviews, like who
mhm,
applied, and yes, so of course when it's many reviews, it always feels safe because we can just read them, right? And
yeah,
especially because through the program, like through the platforms like Airbnb, we know that they don't delete reviews, so we actually can kind of rely on them. So, but sometimes I also took people without review as well. I just was extra careful. I was talking to them, just communications like messages and all of this stuff. And yeah, and most of them was very good people. I actually didn't have a bad experience.
Yeah, people without review maybe just new ones and
The new
doesn't.
ones.
yes, of
And
course.
sometimes Airbnb even blocked the ability to book my house that time. For example, if the guy, for example, he's 21 years old, actually Airbnb even didn't allow him to book my place. So, for example, he's telling me, "Oh, I'm coming with my family, with my parents, like we are this and that," and I
Mhm,
trust them. So, for example, I feel that that's good people because the feeling comes with the experience as well, right? It's like a professional intuition.
yeah,
Yes, and Airbnb sometimes even block him, and he said, "Oh, I cannot book you because of Airbnb thought that he's party person, so that's why they didn't
yeah,
allow him to book my place because it was a big house."
mhm,
Which was I called Airbnb. I told, "No, I want that guy," and they saying me, "No, sorry, Airbnb is not allowing you." Just because of my policy was no party allowed, so they actually
mhm,
didn't give it. So, and yeah, being without review, it's hard in that business.
mhm,
But
That's why
some hosts are very aggressive. We had also such experience. One lady, like she apply for house and say it's for her. Then we discover like she's a host and host that booking a big this noisy parties, right? And she
yes.
was with the city and suing each other and all those troubles. And then we deny her that you know what she did? She go to
What?
the house, the locks and move in.
mhm, yeah,
Call police to to take her out. So that this kind of host, then they that aggressive and they have huge disregard for the law because they don't care. They know they're breaking. So it's very dangerous when you have them in your place already and they will not listen to any reasons. They just money, 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 right? So
yeah, it's not good. And may I ask you, I read, how to say, статья,
Article in the article.
particle,
Oh.
yeah, thank you. Particle about correct here in BC, BC government plan stop short rent apartment. They say about we have not too much cheap apartment. Yeah.
PDF that can you share? We can explain to her. You remember I sent you PDF about
Yes. Yeah, it was actually very useful, Natalia. Thank you for sharing that. It was very interesting.
can if was convenient, Elvira, you or
Oh, if Oleg can share, I can explain.
Можете, пожалуйста, объяснить? Я не понимаю, про какой файл или документ идет речь.
Но мы сейчас говорим про PDF. PDF-файл был про Airbnb. Какие изменения проходят? Недавно совсем.
5 дней назад.
Я
Да.
даже не знаю, где он.
Тоже в группу, потому что в группе просто сбрось.
Да, вот
Или-
у меня просто нет доступа к WhatsApp с компьютера, с лаптопа. Поэтому,
Но я посылала тоже по имейлам.
да, давайте сейчас посмотрим.
По-моему,
Ну,
да.
Что-то я не могу найти его вот так вот. И...
Hannah, do you file? Can you share it? About Airbnb. Remember, I sent PDF file to the
Все, я вижу. Я нашел.
Я
Found
нашел,
it.
давай. Мгм.
Если сейчас его
I
поставишь,
found it.
Наталья,
Да-да-да.
if you can share the screen. So this is about the rules.
We can explain in two languages, in Russian and in English. Which one is preferable?
We can do it both.
Russian, yes,
Yeah.
of course.
One or Ukrainian, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
And Hannah can explain in other language too. We can explain between us in 5 languages here.
Oh, nice. And Poland, right? Oleg, can you speak Poland?
Yeah. Can you share here, Oleg? Can you share?
Yes, just a few minutes, please.
Okay, so that one, but it's not concrete rules yet. It's gonna be more concrete in May. So they kind of announced that it's gonna be discussed and finalized, so nothing for sure. But generally what it would be, everyone in town, because like many buildings now minimum 30 days, right? And could be then individual buildings before may have rules not allowed at all, then it's changed by law. And 6 months, 1 year, whatever. But now they are proposing in May gonna be minimum 90 days. And if you rent for less than that, you can, but you can need to buy license in a city, and it's maybe 1,000 or something like that. So they didn't announce it yet, but the idea that to propose anything under 90 days to be short term. Now it's under 30 days. So it's kind of short term definition to increase, right? And it's gonna be certain rules and regulation, but again, it's not yet decided. They kind of given heads up, and many people already stopped. The question is, for example, if now someone doing for 1 month rentals, is it gonna be in a May affected them and they have to, you know, pay that license even if they did it in the past? This is a big question. That's why many people don't want to do it now less than 90 days just in case, right? So
but I read information about in the plan about Airbnb here in BC. Stop all short terms because BC need too much cheap
So
apartment
because
property
because
for
BC
people.
because BC thinks that we need a more accommodation for the long-term tenants and stop making profit out of short-term rentals because of course it is more expensive. That's why they wanted to make Airbnb properties, use of Airbnb properties is more strict right now. So so what they're doing already, they already raise the fines for the validation of Airbnb rules. So if before it was 1,000, now it's 3,000 per day. So if someone just running like illegally, also Airbnb properties should be primary residency. So it means that, for example, you own the place and you have to live there. It's your primary residency. But for winter, let's say you're going to Mexico, like someone going to Mexico. So in that time, he can actually place his property in Airbnb, and this is kind of short-term accommodation. So
Alec, you can email to everyone. Maybe Hannah also can share.
So in that particular slide, what we have now, so for now at Airbnb, it's less than 30 days. It looks, it means that it is actually commercial activity. So, that's why Airbnb doesn't apply Tenancy Act, which is actually cover all tenancy issues in British Columbia. Right, that act doesn't apply for Airbnb because Airbnb looks like it's commercial activities, so it's not covered by Tenancy Act. So this is the thing. Yes, and so for now, it's like less than 30 days, right? And you can do it just in your primary residence. Yeah, so if someone wants to buy investment property and then use it as Airbnb, is not allowed. It have to be primary residence. Right. So, and what about next slide? Alia, can you do the next slide? Yes. So, and as we see here, right. So, new definition of short-term rentals will be 90 days soon, but it is going to be It is going to be by March. So they slowly starting to make it harder, kind of, for the owners. So 90 days, and yes, and everyone who doing Airbnb need to get the license from the city. So they're gonna actually, yes. So they actually start to do just like it's more, like more strict.
Yeah, we can share.
Yeah. So.
Probably written there.
Yeah, so we have an echo, right?
Okay, let me mute my.
Yes, so advertising rules offers to hosted by an online platform like Airbnb, Vrbo, Expedia, and Flipkey, right? So Facebook Marketplace, Kijiji. So actually, actually, it's all platforms works for Airbnb. What next? So we can actually advertise it as before. Yes. So so as I said, now we on the phase 1. So immediate implementation with the elevated fines, which meaning that it was 1,000 per day, now it's 3,000 per day officially. So phase 2 is going to be by May, so it should be enforcing principal residence requirements, but it already should be residence, principal residence. So I mean, it's better don't take a risk even, you know, or maybe it's like your vacation home. But for example, if someone works in Vancouver and in Victoria, let's say two places, right? But it is mostly what is it called? It's in English. So it's not a rule. It's usually like исключение из правил.
Из правил, да.
Yes, yes, and yeah, so it's going to be harder and harder, and that's why, yeah. Now here we can see the new rules by cities. So in Coquitlam, Cranberry, Condo, Townhouse, Duplex, right? And in Surrey, secondary suites, Delta. What about the Vancouver? Here's not Vancouver. Vancouver is just what is it? Principal residence.
Олег, а чего ты остановил? Как это будет тогда половина presentation?
Она на YouTube лив идет, я написал.
То есть нет Ванкувера, нет Ричмонда, но в принципе area Great Ванкувер, да, она здесь.
Ну, в Ванкувере самые сложные правила. Я вам, Наталья, просто говорю. Вот в Ванкувере все, что самое сложное, это будет все в Ванкувере. Здесь столько регулировщиков всего вообще. Вот, поэтому здесь сдавать в Airbnb, конечно, нужно действительно доказывать, что это твое primary, что это primary residency, как бы да.
И это только временно, и только вот пока я уехал, вот я там отдал на там 2-3 месяца, например. Ну, в общем, тихий ужас, бизнес убивают, да.
И доказательство в том, что вы покажете, что вы tax refund сдали по этому адресу. Просто так вы скажете, вам и поверят, да? То есть действительно надо регистрироваться и жить по этому адресу.
В общем, здесь все очень сложно. Я так понимаю, что, по крайней мере, здесь Airbnb убили, скажем так.
Ну, сделать сложнее.
Да,
делать сложнее. То есть, если кто-то хочет бизнес именно строить на Airbnb, конечно, это уже сложнее.
Ну, это практически невозможно. Я понимаю, что можно обходить любые законы, но не вот так с нуля зайдя и попытавшись работать так, как ты работал. Да. Потому что в той же Швейцарии легче, как ни странно, легче. Ну, да, хотя тоже законов много, и законы странные, ты без разрешения комьюнити не можешь в свой собственный дом заехать. Ну, в общем, всякое бывает, да. Ну, в общем, тяжело. Загоняют бизнес просто даже не в угол, а, скажем так, его обнуляют, его убирают из бизнеса, его переводят просто в категорию, да, ты можешь распоряжаться своей собственностью, но только своей, четко ограниченной и доказав, что ты вынужден, скажем так, вот отдать свою квартиру на 2-3 месяца, да.
Да, кто любит, например, там.
Preparing to present places for rent. Yes, Hannah? Are you ready? To present what we have for rent now.
Наталья, мы будем проводить с Натальей вебинары, как бы и встречи живые именно для собственников жилья, для тенантов потенциальных. Да, там мы будем рассказывать интересные случаи, кейсы, если есть какие-то вопросы. Да, Наталья, мы планируем это, может быть, делать раз в месяц или там раз в 2 месяца.
Спасибо вот большое, да. С удовольствием буду присоединяться, да.
Не по Zoom, а приличной встречи, так будет.
С удовольствием.
Да, поэтому, если у вас есть какие-то вопросы, мы пока еще продумываем с Натальей план, как мы будем проводить эти встречи, да, то есть мы еще только решили, это такая, знаете, будет школа лендлордов и тенантов, так скажем, да, школа аренды, мы ее еще назовем, интересно. Да, вот, и поэтому, если у вас какие-то вопросы есть, то и вы, Наталья, и все, кто смотрит нас в записи, в принципе, сейчас, если у кого-то есть вопросы такого, знаете, характера, там, понятно, что мы не будем прям смотреть контракт у каждого, да, то есть, ну,
Естественно, да.
понятно, что если вы закажете наши услуги, то понятно, да, да, ну, а вот так вот, generally speaking, если какие-то вопросы, вы нам их прям скидываете, и мы будем их обсуждать все
Мгм.
вместе, вам говорить, как это по закону, то есть такое. То есть мы с Натальей планируем, вот с First Day Realty планирует открывать какую-то такую школу именно по аренде.
Ликбез, да.
Да, да.
Мгм. Хорошая идея, отличная.
Ну, у
Должна
Натальи огромный
пользоваться
опыт.
спросом, да.
Конечно, у нее 17 лет experience, она все
Мгм.
знает. Кто, если не она?
Мгм. Ну, сейчас огромное количество ехало и продолжают ехать и украинцев. И я так понимаю, сейчас пошла еще волна ребят с Израиля. Пусть небольшая, их не так много, но тем не менее они все равно стали ехать.
Из
Да, мы можем.
Палестины. Смотрите, Наталья, мне было удивительно, что вы сказали, что вам запрещено нас рекомендовать. Вы можете
Да,
просто давать наш веб-сайт или давать нашу
да, я так
телеграм.
и делаю. Я просто даю
Наш
ваши контакты, да.
не то, что мы там, они могут ставить
Мгм,
объявления, люди видеть нашу группу, да, у нас очень
мгм,
большие Facebook-группы, там кто угодно ставит. Единственное, что надо предупреждать, что мы там не проверяем каждого лендлорда,
мгм,
там аферисты тоже, и им нужно все-таки перед тем, как платить кому-то деньги, нужно проверить, хозяева ли они, да,
мгм.
внимательно. У меня вчера был случай, парень позвонил и говорит, моей жене работу предложили. Я говорю, какую работу? Он говорит, можно я вам пришлю, значит, этот контракт? И, значит, присылает контракт. Работа заключается в том, чтобы она целый день с утра до вечера показывала какую-то квартиру, непонятно кого, и за это ей типа $350 плюс 50, если она со всех депозиты снимет.
Ну,
Я
это
говорю,
Ой-ой.
мошенничество, да.
скам тебе предлагают, то есть
Да,
сидеть будешь ты, да? Они-то
да,
там,
как тот вице-председатель фонд, да, потому что именно она берет деньги. Да.
да, и это уже русскоязычные люди, из
Мгм,
как они представились, то есть занимаются такими делами. То
мгм,
есть вот такой невинный человек, думаешь, он нашел работу, он там показывает, да,
да.
они, может, сняли на день-два Airbnb, ее туда
И
пустили.
пересдача тоже моментальная, да.
Поэтому это все опасно. Человек, который показывает, даже как в этом случае, он может быть, так сказать, невинным и не понимать, что он
Да.
делает, и для как бы. Поэтому вот тут надо внимательно деньги давать тому, кто хозяин, проверить документы. Если у нас спрашивают документы или у хозяина, нормальный хозяин никогда не откажет показать, ну,
Показать
как
их, да.
меня, да, чтобы быть уверенным, да.
Да,
Вот
и
это
потом это же, да, и вот мы как агенты, например, мы тоже проверяем хозяев, то есть когда к нам обращаются лендлорды, у нас первое идет то, что мы проверяем, кто собственник, мы проверяем ID, мы проверяем, как бы вообще, как, что это вообще законно все, понимаете? Это вот
Мгм,
важный степ. Потому что тоже не все лендлорды хотят показывать всем подряд, да. То есть не все, например,
мгм,
comfortable to share IDs, там, чтобы
мгм,
picture of ID, такие вещи.
мгм.
Поэтому но мы, как агенты, мы обязаны все проверять.
Да.
Так что,
Ну, в
да, вот
общем,
именно из гостиницы вашей часто звонят и дают на ресепшн мой телефон
мгм,
сами government представители, потому что
мгм,
им надо дать им информацию. Это не то, что они не обязаны с нами снимать, тем более мы деньги с тенантов никогда не берем,
мгм.
да?
Да, да, да.
В нашем списке что-то есть, что подходит, и они подойдут лендлордам, почему нет? У нас, по крайней мере, как Эльвира сейчас сказала, все хозяева уже проверены, у нас там не
Ну да,
будет
есть постоянный круг хозяев, с кем вы работаете, да.
в первом круге.
да,
Мгм,
мы всегда идем к тому, что мы вначале проверяем вообще собственников, то есть кто стоит на title, у нас есть все
мгм.
tools для этого, то есть мы знаем, где это смотреть. Если мы видим, что там что-то не то или кто-то не так, мы начинаем задавать вопросы.
Вопросы,
Если,
да.
да, если люди нам не отвечают, то мы не берем их, потому что у
Ну,
нас
потому что
много,
легче, да, легче
у
отказаться
нас,
от проблемного хозяина,
конечно, у
чем
нас
иметь
много.
проблемы.
Да, у нас много заявок, много людей, много клиентов, и как бы мы заботимся о репутации.
И резко, когда хозяин или агент не захочет встречаться с квартирантом, да, он скорее захочет. Поэтому, если они не хотят встречаться,
Это уже странно,
это
да.
уже должно быть красная лампочка подозрения, да? Мгм.
Да, да.
Поможете, если вы их об этом предупредите, потому что некоторые люди могут подумать, о, в Канаде должно быть все тут, да, но это дело не канадская такая, как это сказать, афера, это афера по всему миру в больших городах. Обычно это люди занимаются, которые не местные, они ездят по всему миру и делают этот бизнес, так сказать, да, и они в этом довольно.
Профессионалы, да.
Есть начинающие, есть специалисты. Вот этот парень, который мне прислал договор, там даже видно было, что люди, которым эти занимаются, даже не понимают, что такое property management. То есть это были начинающие. Да? Они когда так написали. Вот.
Так.
Но тем не менее, это уже как бы... Это в Телеграме ей предложили. Да? То есть это, так сказать, нехороший знак. Да?
Да,
Да,
да.
надо проверять, конечно. Я должна сказать всем до свидания. Спасибо большое за этот
Да,
час.
я...
Да, спасибо большое, да.
Да,
Да,
потому
До
что у меня
следующей
следующая
встречи,
встреча.
да, да.
ровно 11 часов у нас обычно
Да,
час.
заканчивается, да.
Приходите к нам на встречи, смотрите на YouTube, то, что мы записали, наши встречи, большинство из них публичные, то есть если вы придете, вы должны знать, что вы можете быть записаны и везде стоять и где-то на YouTube, где-то там, да, если вы не против.
Да,
Вы
да.
можете, например, когда переименовываете, поменять просто одно имя оставить, и для этого это более удобно. Ну, так на будущее, чтобы вы более четко понимали, да?
Хорошо, да,
Да.
да.
Ну хорошо, все. Давайте всем большое
Всем
спасибо.
спасибо, да, да, до свидания.
Да.
Всего доброго.